We're back. McKay and Bennett. Episode 7?
Maybe. I've lost track. I don't know. Yeah, I think 7.
Episode 7. What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about the little things, which are actually the big things.
Yeah. I
think most people, when they're thinking about, fixing their relationship, rebuilding their relationship, strengthening their relationship, I think a lot of people think about grand gestures.
Big to-dos.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to...
Vacations.
I'm going to get a skywriter and put my spouse's name in the clouds and...
Or a weekend away, or
totally.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
They think of the rose petals and the...
champagne and the candles and the bubble baths.
Yeah, I think most people think about the grand gestures when they're looking at anything about their relationship in terms of making it better.
That's not like... It's not a big tool in our utility belt that we use in our relationship, the grand gesture.
No. And I think it's because you can't grand gesture yourself into a great relationship.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, your relationship is 99.9+%
the day-to-day stuff.
The day-to-day mundane life things.
Life.
And so you can knock grand gestures out of the park, but it's such a minute percentage of your actual daily life that a grand gesture is not going to carry you through for a year.
Yeah, like in our in the talk that we've given, we talk about how if you think about it, you equate it to
working out, fitness, health.
Yeah, or if you're that friend who ignores your friend 99% of the year, but once a year
you throw them a big birthday party.
Yeah, on their birthday you send them a birthday, a big gift, or you throw them a party or a big to-do, but literally the other 364 days of the year you've ignored them and they've sent you texts and you don't respond and all that stuff.
They're going through stuff and you
don't check in and so how good of a friend do you think you're going to be known as most of the time?
Right.
On that one day they may say, "Oh, this is really great."
Yeah.
But the other 364,
right?
You're going to be known as a dick.
Yeah. Totally.
Right? And so
I think the same analogy applies for your health and your fitness, because what we're talking about is, the 99% of your life, the daily mundane things. It's the consistent daily action in your relationship that determines your relationship. Mm-hmm. And like your health, it's the consistent daily actions you take, the decisions you make every day about what you eat and how much you move your body and how much you sleep and how much water you drink that determines how healthy you're going to be. You cannot do one perfect day where you work out all day long and you drink all the water and you get 8 hours sleep and you have one beautiful day of salads and exercise.
I've tried that. It just didn't work for me.
And then the other 364 days a year, you don't move and you eat whatever you want.
Yeah. At the end, guess what? When I did that at the end of the year, I wasn't healthier.
No, you were far less healthier.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
So the grand gesture, that one day a year, it's
not going to work.
No, you can't work out 12 hours and expect to be healthy. But if you work out half an hour every day and you do your things every day,
you'll be healthy.
You will be healthy. And it's the same with your relationship. You can't do a big grand gesture. You can't take a big trip every year and hope that that's going to sustain your relationship. That's going to save your relationship.
It's just not. So it's really true. The little things are the big things. The little things are the needle movers.
Your relationship is defined. Your relationship is only as good as the little consistent daily actions and decisions you take within your relationship.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the examples of the little things that are important, that are really the big things. Mm-hmm. Because it's not the grand gestures, it's not the vacations, it's not the skywriting or the champagne bubble bath dates. It's the constant check-ins. It's the touch.
20-second hugs.
The 20-second hugs. It's the, looking at each other, checking in on each other in their day.
Mm-hmm. It's noticing that your water bottle is empty or close to empty on your bedside table, so fill it up before you need it.
Yeah. Or that you're swamped with something and just picking up an extra task to help you out, or whatever it is.
I'm going to the kitchen for a snack, and so I bring you one.
Yeah, it's just being thoughtful and considerate and polite. The pleases and thank yous. I feel like a lot of time. It's the relationship. It's the people that are closest to you
that you take for granted.
Where you take for granted the please and thank yous, and they're the first. That's where they fall by the wayside first.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people closest to you that get the
worst of you sometimes.
Yeah, and it's actually got to be the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people closest to you that deserve the best of you.
Mm-hmm. That deserve to feel appreciated and respected and seen and heard.
Yeah.
So checking in, making sure that you're picking up the slack when required without having to be asked.
If the socks are on the floor and you walk past, just throw them in the hamper.
Mm-hmm. Regardless of who owns them.
Yeah. Just you see something that needs to be done, just handle that task. Just do that thing because it needs to be done, and you don't want your partner to have to feel the responsibility of doing everything.
And it seems silly, but thank you.
Yeah.
Like, thank yous go a long way. And sometimes I think, to your point, they get lost along the way because we settle into our roles and our routines, and the expectations are just there. And when someone meets the expectations, it's just an expectation met. So there's no...
You just did your job.
Yeah.
In other words, like it's kind of like that.
So how keen am I to notice, to go looking for your water bottle, to take it out to the kitchen, to refill it and put it back, if you never, ever, ever
noticed it and said thank you?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, that's the other side of this, right? Is that when we are showing up for each other in all our relationships, and people are, doing the little things, it's acknowledging the little things. It's acknowledging when someone does them. When someone shows up consistently every day. And I think we take that for granted as a society. We go into work every day or whatever it is. We show up every day and do our best. And a lot of times, especially I remember in corporate America, like it was like the corporate world, it was just an expectation. And so sometimes I think that bleeds into our relationships. Oh, it's just an expectation. You're my husband, you're my wife, you're my spouse, you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, you're my whatever. That's an expectation of this relationship, that you just show up in that way. And so I think it's taken for granted a lot of times. And that's a slippery slope, I feel, is that when you start not acknowledging when that other person shows up for you in the best way, and you don't acknowledge it chips away at that, and they're not going to want to continue to do it. And eventually they'll stop doing it, slowly over time. But that's how relationship degrades, is over time. That person stops doing it, and then you stop doing what you do. And then all the little things...
resentment starts to build.
Yeah, all the little things start falling by the wayside, and you start resenting each other. And so it's really important to acknowledge that.
How many people, ballpark, you say, we talk to where resentment is an issue, where feeling unappreciated, feeling disrespected, feeling unheard, feeling unseen.
Oh, it's such a huge percentage. It's got to be it's easily 90% of the folks that we talk to in relationships that are struggling, they're dealing with that.
That's one component of it.
Yeah. There's probably the core 4 issues, but like that's one of them, is the little things have been, one person feels as though they're doing them and the other person hasn't acknowledged it, so they feel unseen, unheard, disrespected, and undervalued.
Yeah.
Undervalued.
Exactly. And that's what breeds resentment. Yeah. And resentment is going to poison your relationship from the inside out.
It's like it's toxic.
Yeah.
It's toxic. It's death to a relationship.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so like what are the little things? What's the little thing that you can do today in whatever relationship you're in? Maybe it's with your parents. Maybe it's with your partner. Maybe it's your business partner. Maybe it's your friend. But to maintain any relationship, the little things are the big things. So what's a little thing that you're not doing today?
Yeah.
That you could start doing?
And they don't even have to be, it doesn't even have to be face to face. It could be sending them a text, just checking in on them. How are you doing today? I know you were going through, whatever last time we talked, and I just want to check in and see how you're doing with that. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's thank you for noticing that my water bottle was empty and filling that up for me. I so appreciate that. I don't have to go in the kitchen in the middle of the night. It's just you're out and you're grabbing something at the grocery store and you see
I picked up your hot chocolate today.
Yeah, the element. I need the sodium, and that's so cool that you thought of me as you were driving by that store, because it's only available in very few places. You picked it up, you grabbed it. And so, yeah, I'll have a salty hot chocolate. But yeah,
with our first snowfall today.
Yeah. It's it's just really understanding what you can do for the other person, and just doing it without expectation. You're not doing it for the thank you. You're doing it because you're trying to build the relationship you want to have. Yeah. And then when you notice that they've done that for you, you say thank you. So everyone has two jobs. Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, and I think it's important to say you're doing it without expectation. So it's not like, oh, I did this for you, you should do this for me later on. That's not what the intent of this is. Yeah, this is not a quid pro quo. It's just you do it because you're building a relationship and you love this person and you want to do something nice for them. And you don't use it as a weapon later on as I went out to the store and got you that, that hot chocolate, that salt, like. And then you went to the store and you didn't pick up my favorite chips. What's that all about? Yeah, like it's let's do it without expectation. It's the little things, and on the other side of that, it's the appreciation for the little things. So I think it's really, take stock of something that you can do today, now, in a relationship that's really important to you, and just go and do something nice for them. The little thing, just go and do it. Without expectation or looking for something in return, and just if someone does something nice for you, just acknowledge it, say thank you, and not even if, find the thing that you could say thank you for. Yeah, there's got to be something. There's always something. Absolutely. And so I think that those are the two takeaways for everyone. Find something, find a little thing you can do for someone who's important to you, and find something to thank them for. And starting to do that on a regular basis will transform your relationship. 100%. So little things are the big things. Yep. It's the consistency. It's the consistent daily action in your relationships that define your relationship. Yep. Absolutely. So that's what we've got for you today. Over and out. Over and out. We'll talk to you soon.